another big trade
Yes.
that took place tonight. Jimmy Butler has resolved. The saga is over.
Finally.
The national nightmare
The
is
worst story arc since they stranded Krillin on Namek for 3 months.
this was a tough one, but he is indeed going to the Golden State Warriors, where he
Yeah.
will then re-sign and extend for another 2 years at $121 million. So I'm happy for Jimmy Butler. I'm happy for his agent Bernie Lee. After all this, they do get him to a premium destination, and they do get him a pretty good extension.
Sure.
So
he got
like,
what he wanted in terms from a financial standpoint.
he did get what he wanted. Do you really care about this? Like him with the Warriors? Like, is that moving you at all?
Yeah, I'm not sure how much it lifts the Warriors. I think it makes them slightly better. It's not something where I think it suddenly vaults them into a contender status.
Are they going to get out of the play-in?
I mean,
Probably not, right?
probably not.
Yeah.
I think most interesting to me, because there's a bunch of subplots tied together
Yeah.
on this, and we will get to Lee Kyer Gate. But most interesting to me was that the Warriors were calling everybody, trying to land any type of star, and there was a lot of momentum for Kevin Durant
Yeah.
over the last couple days until it was finally reported today that KD himself did not want to go back to Golden State, which I think when we talked about it yesterday, we did neglect, and sometimes we neglect the human factor of it.
Sure.
Because if
Yeah,
you
yeah,
think
yeah.
about how his tenure ended in Golden State,
Yeah.
the falling out with Draymond, just like how awkward that portion of it was.
Yeah.
And the fact that like there's this whole thing where it's always Steph's team and KD was always playing second fiddle there. It was never going to be his team. Like, did he really want to, at this point in his career, do that again?
Right.
And I guess the answer is no. So, yeah, the big loser, I don't even know if I want to call the Warriors a winner in this.
Okay.
So they send out Andrew Wiggins. Dennis Schroeder's on the move again. Another loser is Dennis Schroeder's son, who, if you remember, when Schroeder got traded to Golden State, was like, Daddy, you get to play with my favorite player, Steph. And 3 weeks later, Dennis is getting rerouted to Utah, which anytime, if you're any player that gets traded to Utah, you're getting bought out.
Daddy, you get to play with my favorite player, Isaiah Collier.
Not Collier.
Daddy, you get to play with my favorite player, Johnny Juzang.
No, man.
Daddy, you get to play with Walker Kessler.
Not Double J John
No,
Juzang.
Daddy. No, please, Jordan Clarkson. Let me get his
So,
autograph.
so of course, Kyle Anderson is
Yeah.
also on the move.
Yeah.
And it was initially reported that because this is a multi-team deal, that Kyle Anderson was going to land in Toronto.
Okay.
And for people that don't know, Kyle Anderson has Chinese heritage in his family.
He's 1/8 Chinese.
Right.
I believe, yeah.
Yeah, so he's 1/8 Chinese. So there's a lot of excitement in our group chat. There's a lot of
Dude.
excitement. Mr. Beast already messaged me and was like, man, we got to secure that jersey.
Yep.
And then, of course, Michael Grange pours, a bucket of cold water on this,
Wow.
bucket of cold chai tea on this talk,
Grange,
and
what?
says that Kyle Anderson won't be coming here anymore.
Wow.
So we're still trying to understand the mechanics of it, but what
Yeah.
Shams reported is that the deal has been agreed to, and Miami's responsible for rerouting guys.
Yeah, they're like, listen,
Yeah.
you take Jimmy because he's a headache.
Yeah, we're gonna take Wiggins.
We're going to take Wiggins. We'll take Lee
Yeah.
Kyer.
Yeah.
I think we'll take Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah,
and who's gonna
but
go to
you're
Utah.
responsible for moving the
Yeah.
guys to other teams.
They're like, listen,
Yeah.
our part in this is done, okay? If you want to make this into a 3-4 team trade, that's up to you guys to do. The initial reporting from Shams was that Lee Kyer, Kyle Anderson was coming to
Yes.
Toronto. That was hot for like maybe 10 minutes. And in
Yeah.
those 10 minutes, I got to say, because I was on Media Row and I was sitting beside Clement Chu, who is the president and founder of CCYAA. That's the Chinese Canadian Youth Athletic Association.
Yes.
So, super involved in the Asian community
Yeah.
here. He
Godzilla.
was hyped. Jeremy, our friend, who we call affectionately the mainlander, Jeremy was also there, and he was super hyped.
Right.
Like we were all hugging. We were like, "Oh my God, Lee Kyer, we're gonna bring you to Markham.
You haven't seen celebration like this on Media Row since Kawhi hit that 4-bout
We're
shot.
gonna bring you to Shing.
Yeah.
We're gonna bring you to Patois.
Yo,
Like,
fly him in a hug. Let him do the physical in the back room.
yo, you could be right here, right
And then
now,
we'll get
man.
Bobby here. We'll get Pat Delaney here.
I was gonna text Bobby and say thank you. Asian Heritage Month
Yeah.
coming soon.
You know what? Maybe, Bobby should have done us a solid.
I was
man,
so
but-
hyped, and then he wasn't coming. I mean,
Yeah.
all jokes aside, like I don't think that the Raptors would have had that much use for Kyle Anderson. I mean,
Sure.
we know that the Raptors are moving in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Kyle Anderson does have another year after this year on his contract for $10 million.
Sure.
And then the following year, it's like unguaranteed.
Man, I don't care about that. I just want a Kyle Anderson.
You
here,
just
man.
want another Chinese
I'm not
guy on the
I'm not
team?
trying to hear about how his game would fit.
We could have been. He's 31 years old.
So you're 32.
He was year of the rooster, man.
So we got roosted, man. Anyways, I don't know. On a scale of 1 to 10, like 1 to 10, 10 being Kawhi leaving, like
Yo.
this was like I would say this was like a 3, and then adjusted for Asianness, I guess it's a 5.
That was very.
It's a
funny,
5.
man.
It's a 5.
That was very funny. We would have 100% gotten Lee Kyer on the podcast. I
you
would have taught
that
him. I would have
confident?
taught him Chinese. I swear, I would have. I would
Well,
have made so much content with Lee Kyer. I'm not
we
even
we
kidding.
would have definitely made some inroads, and with Asian Heritage Month coming up,
Yeah.
definitely would have been able to guilt trip a really classic interview for you and Kyle Anderson.
Wow.
So
Love that we have to pull that card.
yeah, I mean, lots of cards we can pull.
Fair
It's
enough.
always the race card, basketball reference game or real life.
That's the.
Anyways, another loser of this deal is the Phoenix Suns because they were talking about trading maybe for Jimmy Butler.
Yep.
They don't get Jimmy.
Yep.
They put KD out there.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that's going to feel. And Chris Haynes sent out the saddest tweet after all of this. He said, multiple obstacles in the way to make a drastic change at the deadline. Phoenix Suns were always prepared to venture into the second half of the season with the core roster in place. With future no longer in doubt for time being, the internal hope is improved play. This is like when you like in the second like Lord of the Rings and like you're down bad,
Yeah.
like the hobbits are down bad, they're
Bro.
like eating each other or whatever, and then Gandalf just like gives a
They
speech.
don't eat each other
Yeah.
in there. Okay.
Like this is some down bad messaging from the Phoenix Suns.
This is where like Frodo has been stung by Shelob. He's been spun up in that web. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Sam's climbing down Minas Ithil or whatever the mountain is called.
yeah.
This is very funny because in the process of trying to get Jimmy Butler and failing to get Jimmy Butler,
Yes.
they have told Bradley Beal, we don't want you.
Yeah.
Bradley Beal says, I don't care. I'm staying no matter what.
Yep.
Okay. Bradley Beal's like,
Yeah.
you can't break up with me. I don't care. Okay.
Yep.
He has now soured that relationship. They then tried to pivot towards trading KD, which I'd never fully understood.
That seemed a little crazy to me because
Like-
like it was to replace KD with Jimmy Butler.
So you're okay with the team as long as it's just Booker, KD, and Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not Jimmy, then you will just rather have only Booker and Beal.
Well, I
Like,
think
who were they going to get back in that trade?
I think what we're underestimating this week, starting with the Luka trade,
Yeah.
is that there's just a lot of incompetence in front offices.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I think we try to make sense of these trades from a very rational perspective,
Mm.
and sometimes these things can't be explained.
Yeah.
Because front offices just want to make certain moves.
Right.
Because I can't explain that one to you.
That one's tough. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I mean, this trade deadline's nuts.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Oh, breaking news!
Oh my God, what?
Jimmy Butler will wear number 10 for the Warriors.
I was like, oh.
Yeah.